Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. In this week's video, we're answering your questions. On Instagram, we reached out asking for your questions, and we're gonna answer them, and hopefully you can add some to the comment box or go to our Instagram and drop us some more, and we'll do our best to get them answered. Question number one, jacket versus backplate versus hybrid BCD. A jacket BCD wraps around you, it has large pockets for storage, and the inflation comes all the way around your body. This is the best for beginners. It provides the most flotation, and you have a lot of storage for things that you're probably not used to carrying or sticking on with carabiners. So this is a good BCD for beginners. Also, because the air comes around, it keeps you straight up instead of pushing you forward. With a backplate BCD, it's just a metal plate where a donut, as they call it, just an inflation device, which is just a rectangle that gets attached to that metal plate, and you use harness straps to secure it to your body. This is more streamlined, it's much lighter to travel with. If you are experienced in diving, you know what you want to carry, you know how to carry it, you know how to control your body in the water. This is a great tool to have, and it'll keep you trim and streamlined underwater, but this is more for advanced diving in my opinion. If you're starting out, go for the jacket. Another thing, the hybrid BCD, that's what I have, and it gives you some pockets on the side, a little bit more cushioning and a little bit more flotation. But what I don't like about it is that it's damn heavy. So if I do get a new BCD, I probably will switch to a jacket style or a very light I'd switch to a backplate style or a very lightweight jacket that doesn't have a backplate, so it can just like roll up. It's essentially just fabric and a bladder that holds the air. So that'd be my advice on that one. Question number two, what is the best fin kicking technique for beginners? So there's a few kicking techniques, but the two main ones are you just have your normal flutter kick, okay? When you're doing a flutter kick, a lot of beginners who aren't naturally good swimmers or until they're used to it, they're going to dip their knees because there's less resistance, because they feel the weight of the fin is too strong for the leg and they can't handle it. So they dip their knees, which is the wrong approach. You want nice, long, straight legs, and coming right from your hip down to your thigh, down to your knee, you want nice, strong, straight kicks, okay? And you want to alternate back and forth. This technique has a lot of power, okay? And you're gonna end up maybe going too fast, so you gotta learn and remind yourself to slow it down. Also, it can wear you out. And if you're not positioned properly, it can kind of like throw your shoulders off as you're doing it, as you're shifting the weight. So it can be a very tricky kick. I don't think there's a best one for the beginner to do. I think that a beginner should learn both, but most beginners do just the normal flutter kick. Okay, then we have the frog kick, where you are bunching up your legs and kind of do like a breaststroke underwater, like the frog kick, foot kick, I don't know what you call it, but a frog kick when you're doing breaststroke. And what's good about this, it takes less strain on your legs and your knees. It's more of a laid back kind of diving, because you position yourself properly with your BCD, you set the right inflation, and then the whole point is that you do a strong kick and then you just glide. Okay, you just glide through the water. When you start to slow down again, give yourself another kick and then glide. By the time you're more of an advanced diver, almost everyone is using this kick because it uses less energy, it uses a lot less air, and it's just more comfortable in general. I prefer this. I only do this kick. The only time I do flutter is if I have to chase after someone because a student is getting out of hand, or in strong currents, things like that. But I would recommend that you learn both, because you need both. but as you get comfortable, start working on that frog kick. Question number 3, we have a question saying perforated earplugs, yes or no? You have to be really careful with that. If somehow that perforation gets pinched, or it all the air inside compresses at depth, then you're actually going to create a vacuum between the earplug and your eardrum, and it could create some serious issues. So you have to be very careful with that. Some people don't like their ears getting wet. Some people have ear infections, or they get ear infections easily and they want to protect their ears. I've never used it, but I've had a few people use these that help them. It's a mask, and then on the side straps, there's these little, they look like pill boxes almost, and they go over your ear, and they kind of make a suction around your ear, but it's built into the mask. And I like this because it won't get stuck inside the ear canal, and then you could just pop them off later, pull off your mask, and you're good to go. Using an earplug is very risky. I would strongly not recommend that. Question number 4, this guy is asking for the different types of ways to equalize your ears, and then is there one way that's better for scuba, or for snorkeling, or for free diving, and all those kinds of things. So there's probably, I'd say, 3 ways that are the most common and the most taught, and the most used method is the first one, which is called the Valsalva maneuver. You just pinch your nose, and you learned this one in your open water course. You blow through your nose, just like when you're on the airplane, and it equalizes your ears. I think that this is the easiest, quickest, most controlled one that you can do, because it's really easy to control the pressure that you're sending to your sinuses. So I always teach this to beginners, and even to this day, I personally use this one. That's for scuba diving. Okay, when I was in commercial diving, we wore our helmets, and you can't reach your nose because it's a hard plate. You can't touch your nose. So we had to learn to actually take the tongue and press it up against the roof of the mouth, and actually you learn to force air into your sinuses just by applying pressure in the back of your throat. You have to practice this one. It takes a while to get it, and it is easier under pressure because then you know it's worked. It can be tough to practice this at the surface. A lot of people do this if they're a free diver, okay? Because when you're going down, you want to be as streamlined as possible. And if you can have your arms to the side or just one hand up here, it's better. So if you're going like this as you're free diving down, you're burning more energy and oxygen because you're creating more drag, and then you can't equalize as efficiently and go down as efficiently. So a lot of free divers will do that method. I don't know what it's called, but it requires no hands. Okay. Also, free divers usually wear a nose clip, and that also keeps the water out, but it can aid a little bit in the equalizing process for the same reason. Okay, and then the last one is wiggling your jaw and swallowing saliva. Okay, this creates a negative pressure that either sucks out air, or a positive pressure that pushes air into your sinus, and that will equalize you as well. You can practice with all these ways, but if you're a scuba diver, this is the tried and true, this is the best. This is the one I recommend. This is the one that I use, that I teach all my students. The other ones are more, if you can't do it this way, then I'll teach other techniques. Question number 5, this person's asking, I only can hold my breath for 5 minutes. Is that good enough to swim underwater, dive underwater, free dive? The answer is absolutely. If you truly can hold your breath for 5 minutes, that is a huge feat, because I'm assuming you've had no practice. It takes people many sessions of practice with a freedive instructor or a breath coach to get to 5 minutes. So if you can just naturally do that, you're in very good hands. Once you can hold your breath for 2 to 3 minutes, you already can have amazing free dives where you can get enough depth and enough time to swim around at the coral before popping back up. So 5 minutes, you're in good hands. Nicely done. Question number 6, top 5 gears that a beginner must buy. Okay, start with your soft good. I talked about this in another video. Your soft goods and your hard goods. The hard goods are BCDs and regs that aren't so much personal sized or personal tweaked. Okay, it's more of what specs do you want? With your mask, with your wetsuit, with your fins, this has to fit your body and nobody else's body. Someone couldn't pick up your mask and now it'd be perfect for them too. Okay, so start with your soft goods. Get your mask, get your snorkel, get your fins, and once you get those, the next step I would go to is get a dive computer. And then after a dive computer, I would start looking at some accessories like a dive torch, a tank banger, okay? Your dive sausage, you definitely need a dive SMB. That should be number one, actually. So those are the gear that I would start with more than a BCD and a reg. Sometimes if I want to travel light, I don't bring my BCD or reg. I just show up with my mask, fins, and snorkel because that's what I know I need. Everything else I can use or fit. It's not going to be a problem. So I would start there and get your dive computer and get a dive sausage, get a dive light, a couple accessories that make diving more fun and comfortable. I would go in that approach. Last thing is with your fins, remember that there's the closed foot, the full foot fin, and then the adjustable. The adjustable, you wear booties, which are neoprene boots that go inside your fin. Those are very useful because when you're walking on the beach and there's sharp rocks and broken pieces of coral, or on a slippery boat or a hot jetty before you're getting onto the boat, it's really nice to have a pair of booties, and they're not expensive. They're, relatively cheap, and they will last you many years. So I would consider that when you buy your fins. Question number 7, we have someone asking to explain dive theory in simpler terms. I actually think that this is a very good question, but I think it needs some more preparation. As it comes up to me now, I'm trying to figure out, one, what they're going after here, but two, I really feel that we could do a very interesting video on this that would help dive masters as they're training to do their dive master, new divers as they're training to get certified, people trying to get their deep diving or their nitrox. This could be very useful. So I would like to do an actual video on this. So thank you so much for this question. That's an amazing suggestion. Thank you so much. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed these questions and these answers that we went through. These are your questions, and if you have a question, ask it and we will answer it. So please send us questions in through the comment box on YouTube or in the Instagram comments, and we will answer it. We look forward to getting more feedback from you guys and creating a better connection. As always, stay safe, stay salty, stay diving. I'll see you for the next one. Thanks, guys.